In today's video, we're going to be playing some 1000 rated chess. Will we win? Will we lose? I don't know. All right, let's get right into it. All right, let's start off with a rapid game. So let's go to the home page here. New game. Oh yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. And let's get a little bit of tunes. A little bit of tunes never hurt nobody. Oh, here we go. Starting off strong. Oh, what is this? What have I done?
The stars are swaying.
Hold on now. 2 seconds, please. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Now we're looking better. All right. Got a little 1e4 action. Very common. Very common. So let us play 1c5. The whole purpose being if they play d4, we take it. That's the whole purpose of this move. Alright, let me get back into the soundboard here. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Alright, opponent's thinking. We got the opponent thinking. You should be thinking every move, ideally. Even if it's a bad plan, you should have some kind of plan. So if they play d4, we take it. If they bring out a knight, we bring out our knight. If they bring out the knight, maybe a little d6 action. Maybe a little d6 action with the intention of bringing our knight. So if they push forward, we just take with the pawn and we can leave our knight firmly planted on the f6 square. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. All right, so they're going for the fianchetto. Maybe we should proceed with our plan as usual. We have to be careful, right? Because there is the queen here. It's a common thing that may happen. They may bring the queen out. It's another reason why moving knight to f6 is not a bad idea, but perhaps they're intending to take it here. I don't often see the fianchetto at the beginning. Alright, so the opponent passed the ball back, and now we're thinking. But it seems like simplest is just get the knight involved. Let's just go ahead and get the knight involved, get the development. Surely that can't be a bad thing. Alright, so opponent fianchettoed the bishop as it appeared they were going to do. So we're going to have to watch this the whole time. We're going to have to be watching for this very powerful bishop. I mean, we could just go e5 and say, look, we're going to immediately cut off their bishop. No bishop. But the issue is they're going to pin our knight. So let's just consider this, right? We go e5, they pin our knight. We move the d pawn with the intention of protecting our e pawn. So if the knight's taken, we can just recapture and be okay. That seems just fine. We could develop a knight. They'd probably trade. We'd have to take towards the center. We can move our g pawn and blunder the rook. Don't want to do that now, do we? Alright, I'm thinking just a simple d6. It opens the bishop. You know, we still have the option to go e5 and shut down the bishop. The dark square bishop. So I'm assuming whatever we do, they're going to pin our knight. That's pretty much what I'm assuming. We could go a6 and say no pins. Let's go a6. Why not? Because they moved a little unorthodox with this maneuver. So let's just move our a6 pawn and say, no, you're not going to pin our knight. We're going to be needing that. What? Oh, so maybe they intend to. Ah, interesting. Well, they attacked on the side. Usually it's principle to attack in the middle in response.
I am not at all sure.
So we're going to figure this out.
Equals NEZHNA
What?
com.
Alright, we could go forward. We could go forward here. D6 is just a solid move, right? We get all our pawns protected. We open up our bishop. It just makes sense. E5, E6 is probably fine. Knight out should be fine. I'm going to go D6 just so if they try to push the pawn after we move our knight, we take it. That's the whole purpose. And we'll see what the opponent does. Ball's in their court. So the opponent is wanting to strike the center. I mean, they have the 2 defenders on the pawn, so that could be fine for them. They want to get their knight out. So I'm expecting one of these 2 moves. What's okay? Whoa, bishop here. I mean, are we worried about this at all? I feel like we're not. So we have e6, e5. They're putting a lot of pressure, right? So the last thing we want to do is castle into these 2 bishops. So that means most likely we are going to keep our king in the center or go queenside. Alright, let's get our knight developed. And then if they move pawn forward, we just take with the knight, actually. Because they didn't bring their knight out to help them get the little push in. Because if they would have brought their knight out and went forward, we would have had to take with the pawn. And, remember, they're still defended here. They're still defended here. But if they go forward, we take with pawn. They're not going to take with bishop and let us just get the bishop. I'm quite sure. But you never know. We are 1,000 rated. Alright, let's see what the opponent wants to do. I mean, you got to move your knight out, I figure, or strike the center. That's a very principled play, and that gets you in a position to castle. So what is our response to knight out? If they go knight out, we just take the pawn. This is a very, very important central pawn. Yeah, they had to protect that pawn. Could move our knight in, and they may be forced to trade or give a tempo. Interesting. We could move our knight to e5 to strike the bishop, and if they trade, alright, we'll trade that out and open up our queen. That could be just fine. In that case, we'd probably want to move our pawn quick, and then we could probably castle kingside. Could do an unorthodox move and put the knight on the rim with the intention to strike the bishop once more. Knight goes to the side of the board. What would the opponent do? Just develop, probably, and then if we take the bishop, they'd recapture with the queen, renewing the threats. But then, alright, maybe we just go e5 to blunt it out and bring our bishop out. Okay. Well, we have to be careful, right? The queen's defending the knight, but if the queen wasn't there, this very dangerous bishop would be eyeing us. e6, very principled. e6 is probably just fine, just to blunt your bishop and prepare to move our bishop onto the e6 square so we can threaten to castle and protect our knight. I think that looks just fine. So if we go forward, they may finally bring the knight out. I'm not convinced. They may not bring the knight out yet, because it gets in the way of their queen. Maybe they're trying to do something with the queen. Hard to say. We could bring our bishop out, trying to induce a pawn move. We bring our bishop out, they bring the knight out. But what's our idea there? To then get our other knight into the game, and then they may have to trade there. They may have to trade in that scenario. We could just do a knight move. It's not very principled, but at least we'd be striking the bishop, which feels to be exerting some pressure on our position. Hard to say. I'm thinking just e6, keep it principled, keep it tight, defend the knight, and then potentially castle queenside. So what's the benefit of e6 versus e5? If we go e6, we're stopping the bishop from being as strong. If we go e5, we're interrupting the dark square bishop. But the issue, I think, is if we go e5, we take away the square from our knight, that it may want to go to the center. So with that being said, let's just go e6, keep it principled, keep it tight, and let's see what the opponent wants to do here.
Enemy engaged.
They may be wanting to take pretty soon. And we have to decide. Queen is better. Queen is undoubtedly better. But because they've left the knight on the starting square and put the queen on an odd square, maybe it makes sense to take with the pawn, keep the king in the center. Alright, so they're getting the knight out now. I'm thinking we should move our knight in because they stopped their bishop from being able to take us. We can get a tempo on the queen this way. And the whole point is, look, we're striking this vulnerable square here. So they're going to have to move the queen back, I'm quite sure. Because c2 is very vulnerable here. Alright, we're hitting the queen. Threatening a fork. And actually, if they move the queen, yeah, we're finally able to take this pawn. No, we're not. All right, that's a mistake. That would be a major mistake here because we would lose our knight and reopen their bishop.
Major fraction.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. All right. So they defend this way. So we could move to b6 with the intention to get our bishop out. That doesn't look terrible. We definitely need to get our pieces developed. There's no question. Easy development is to get the bishop and then we can threaten the castle, but why are we castling into this? Why would we want to castle into the raise of these pieces here? I don't think we're ready for that. Okay. Bishop. We could try and go for a fianchetto and say, hey, look, we're going to fight for these dark squares too. You've interrupted your bishop so much. Maybe we give our bishop some potential energy and, you know, we get the back and forth. That seems pretty fair. And they don't have the pawn move, right? So they don't have this c3 move, which could boot our knight away. We could move e5 with the intention to get our bishop out to stop them from castling, but they just block it with the knight. They just block it with the knight. But I wonder if we move forward. Okay, yes, we made their bishop stronger. They bring their knight out. We pin the knight. They castle. We take the knight. They would have to retake with the pawn because if they take with the queen, well, we would take the queen. So maybe this is a tactical consideration. But let's keep it simple, get the bishop out. How is it like a minute to 6 minutes?
Interesting.
How'd this even happen? Someone not watching the clock? That'd be me. Alright, we're going to work on that. We're going to get some health here. We're going to get some health because we need it. We really need this health. What is that? Alright, let's get the queen out. We're gonna move out. We're gonna move a little faster. We're just going to put the bishops in the middle. We're going to put the bishops in the middle. I think we still move the b pawn just to reinforce the c pawn. So in case they try to trade a flank pawn for it, we can just allow them to take into us and recapture. That may be better for us. All right. So let's just go for the queen trade. Running out of time. We are hitting this pawn now. This pawn could become a vulnerability. But we want to get our bishops developed off of their starting square. Alright, where's the knight going? Here? Are we worried about that? Knight goes here, we take. So we're not worried. Now we can castle either way. And maybe they trade the queens at this point. Actually, it's probably better for us to trade queens and win the central pawn. This is a very powerful pawn. We got a minute left, so we got to step up. Gotta step it up.
Enemy engaged.
Got those midnight echo blues.
Alright, let's just pre-move the capture. Opponent probably castles. We take the queen. They'd have to recapture, and then we could get the pawn. So yeah, their rook would have the semi-open file, but we have these two strong pawns here, and if we can get the central pawn, I think we're going to be in a really good position. I'm assuming they're going to take, yep, with the intention of pushing the pawn. That's what I'm assuming they're going to do. Very surprising. Let's get our bishop involved. They still may push the pawn. We'll probably come this way. And it'd be nice to get the rook to the d file. So rook to the d file. No need to castle. 58 seconds. They're going to have to move this pawn. We've got the double attack. You pretty much have to go forward, right? So you have to go forward, and then I'm not sure where we want our knight. If we put the knight on the G square, we could attack the pawn again, right? So you come forward, we come this way. Now we're attacking the pawn, but you're defending the pawn. So I'm not sure that's going to help us out. What? That's one way to do it. Let's just go ahead. Do we castle? No. Let's get the rook to the D file. This is what we want. We want rook on the D file. Rook's to the open file. Alright, what is the opponent thinking here? I'm just gonna... Yeah, we're gonna get forked here. This was a terrible move. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah, so just come forward pretty much, and we're done. But just try to move a little quicker. I gotta think it out better next time. It's pretty obvious. They didn't go for it. That's odd. So they're gonna go for a knight sack? You go for a knight sack? What? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm not buying that knight sack. We're just gonna recapture with the king. And now we put the skewer. We put the skewer on the knight, which is undefended, by the way. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. That pawn cannot move. Let's just plant our rook in here. At least we're threatening the bishop, if nothing else. But we really do... Actually, if they take with the central pawn... No, we don't win the pawn because knights move backwards. Goodness gracious. Knights move backwards. Yeah, I really think they want the sacrifice. Alright, let's just castle so we can get our rooks connected. I wonder if I can move the rook with the intention of taking. No, it doesn't work because knight. Alright, so let's just come backwards. Oh, we're going to lose the bishop. Oh, this is devastating. We're going to lose both bishops. I didn't see a way out of that. I had about 20 seconds.
Major fracture detected.
Maybe there was a way, but I don't think I was going to find it at the time pressure. Alright, this pawn's coming down. Oh, let's just restick the rook in there. What's he going to do? I figure they're going to come down. Very interesting. What is going on? There's no tactics yet where if we take and they recapture with the pawn and we can win something. It just doesn't exist. I suppose we're just going to move the... Whoa, where's he going? Where are you bringing your knight, buddy? Alright, let's just move our king in the game. We're pretty much in the end game now. And let's move our knight backwards. Because there's just not a lot of squares for the knight. I mean, I guess we could have put it on the corner, but that doesn't look very good. They moved their knight just to protect the base of their pawn chain. I mean, this guy knows what they're doing. That's for sure. Yep, trade that off. We're going to have to trade our rooks. We're going to have to get our knight in the game. This is not very good for us. 7 seconds.
I am not at all sure.
We'll get the knight in the game. It's not over. We're still fighting. 2 minutes, 7 seconds. All right. We have a good square here. We have a good square. We get kicked, but... Actually, no, you can't kick us if we take the pawn. So let's get the check here. I'm not sure how we get the king in the game. Alright, let's just move the pawn here. Because we gotta go. There's no time. 2 seconds. Slide over. Opponent just so solid, but they move forward. At least we can bring the king in. Alright. Oh, and we lose on time. We lost on time. Alright, let's see what we did wrong here. Opponent's super tough. I mean, they just played it solid. They didn't even really attack us. They just said, look, you're just going to fall apart. Alright, let's turn on the analysis. And let's look at our opening. So yes, extremely rare for a Fee and Keto at this level. Wasn't sure what was going on here.
Oh no.
And then opponent, yeah, with the 3 pawn moves, or the pawn chain, 2 pawn moves in the opening is pretty rare. Okay, so let's just play it solid. We weren't sure what to do here, but look at our time, 3 minutes to 7 minutes. I mean, this is brutal. But hey, we got a winning position. It's good. You got to find a move at the end of the day. But all right, so we lost a little bit of our advantage moving the bishop. What was the idea? Just reinforce the knight? No. What's the idea here? I just don't understand. Move the rook? No. Well, I was going to move the rook with the intention to put some pressure on the bishop so we could actually take here. That doesn't seem to be what the computer wants. No, we didn't have d5. There's 0% chance. It was d5. What? I don't get it though. Because you take, we take back, you take, we take back, you take. Alright, okay, my miscalculation here.
Don't shoot! I'm with the science team!
My miscalculation here. So yeah, we were supposed to do this move. I thought they had, you know, the 3 defenders. I thought this was an issue for us, but it's not an issue. Our 3 attackers just overwhelmed them. So if you take, we retake, right, you lose your bishop at the end of the line. You're just not allowed to do that, and it comes with a hit on the rook. So yeah, over the board, it just makes total sense to see it here. We missed that tactic. So we said, let's develop. We're running out of time. We got a minute left. We went in go mode. This is fine for us. Dead even game. Alright, then again, opponent. So yeah, what is your knight doing here? Were we supposed to just boot the knight? No. So there's a tactic here. I fail to understand what it could be. What is the big idea that makes this -4? Gives us a +4 advantage.
Don't be ridiculous.
That's what the evaluation bar says. Attack the knight? No. I was thinking, okay, well, you can't just hang the knight, right? So maybe you defend the knight. No, we can't really creep in. I'm not sure the big idea here. Why is this so bad? I mean, this, to me, this looks like absolutely even. This looks like no issue. You've got a bishop hitting nothing, a knight that doesn't want to sacrifice itself. This knight can't go anywhere. But my piece is super passive, right? My bishop's hitting nothing. This bishop almost looking like a pawn. Okay, yeah, we have this diagonal, but, you know, where are you going? The one square I would think to go to, the engine hates it. It says, no, you're going to lose your entire advantage if you try to move there. So what is the big deal? Just castles? No, castles is terrible. The engine dislikes castles. Let me have a little sip of coffee here. See if we can get some caffeine. Alright, what's the big deal? I just fail to understand how this is advantageous for us. There's some kind of tactic in this position that fails to present itself to me. So I would just say, oh, kick the knight. Kick the knight, doesn't like it. Move the bishop to attack the knight to get it to move somewhere, doesn't like it. Castles, engine doesn't like it. Move the rook forward to protect the pawn that's not really going to be taken. Engine probably hates that one the most. I fail to understand. Okay, well, we found this bishop move, but I guess we found it a turn too late. Is that the issue? No, we did the bishop move. Okay, so I'm just confused. Our move was fine. Oh, we on the rook move is where he lost the advantage. Okay, so the rook move, but then they moved their rook, and then we castled. We just keep missing out on this tactic. What is the tactic? Taking the bishop is good for us. You can't really take that way. You'd have to take and castle. What? I'm not going to pretend like I understand what's going on. I was thinking, okay, then we take with the bishop. The whole point is we win a pawn, and then we have a passed pawn. That kind of makes sense to me, right? That's very logical to go through this series of moves to get a passed pawn. But what else could we do here? What else could we do? I'm thinking. I fail to see it. I mean, you got a nice check, but, I mean, what does this do? It's ultimately meaningless. He just slides the king over, and there's no attack against the king here. If anything, they'll probably move the rook and just tuck the king in the corner. Yeah, no idea is presenting itself, so we missed whatever idea was here. And instead, we decided to castle. And then we just got crushed the rest of the way. No time, 20 seconds. Yeah, we just needed much more time. We made a bunch of moves in the time pressure, and we just couldn't figure it out. Just getting crushed here. Great effort on the opponent. Opponent played super tough, but let's try it again and see if we have a better result. Let's do a little 1v3 action. All right. What? All right, opponent aborted the game. Let's try that again. A little 1v3 action. And we'll just get the bishop out. And let's, well, we have a couple ideas and options. Simplest, probably just move the e-pawn with the intention of if we want to push c. What is this? The double bishop move. The double bishop. Just because they double bishop moved, I'm going to move my d-pawn to block that. And it blocks the knight too. I just don't think this is good for them. Right, so I still think we can move the c-pawn. So we probably have c4. Knight can come out. Bishop to the center. I like c4 because if they take, we get our bishop out that way, and if they don't take, we get rid of one of the two central pawns for a flank pawn. So with that being said, let's go for the flank pawn maneuver and see how they want to deal with it. Alright, I think they're going to let us get the trade, so we're going to take the trade pretty soon, but let's get the knight developed first. Let's get a little piece development. Alright, so they got their bishop on these dark squares. I'm assuming they want to get their knight out next. We could push our pawn and get the connect 4.
I am not at all sure.
We could get the connect 4, and actually I am sure that it's a beautiful move. Because how can 4 pawns connected be bad? I refuse to believe that. But we're going to give the opponent another opportunity to take. We're going to move the queen just in case they do take. So we'll have a semi-open file. Okay, now they're putting some more pressure on our position. And again, they moved the bishop out both times. They moved the bishop out, so they're wasting a few moves here. So let's be very principled and develop. Reconnected. All right, we reconnected. So hopefully we're smooth sailing. Opponent gets the queen out now. So it makes me appreciate the pawn push to c5 even more because it blocks their queen. So if I go c5, they're probably going to try to release the tension with b6. We could move our knight out, but the intention is to threaten c7. I think they just castle. So knight b5, at least we're hitting this pawn. Alright, we'll get, well, we could be cheeky and take this way with the intention to move our rook along the b file. Let's try it. Let's try that out, why not? We'll have, oh, okay. Well, we'll have both the files, the d and the g. So, let's just go ahead and initiate our plan now. And we get the queen involved. We line up against the king. I would love to get my bishop out. So we're going to move the queen first to c3 to get the bishop so we can get a tempo against the opponent's queen. That's my plan. I also have the rook to g1. Alright, this move I'm thinking push past. This move I'm thinking push past. Could ignore it, right? Alright, so move the queen, he takes, move the bishop, he takes my knight, and we checkmate the king. I don't think opponent would allow that. I don't think opponent would allow that. But if we go forward and you take, oh, and then that's actually really good. I think this is really good because we have the dual attack on the queen. Yeah, I think this is good for us. I think because we're hitting the queen and we're threatening checkmate. Surely this has to be good for us. You're going to engage the enemy here.
Enemy engaged.
I think this is checkmate. I mean, that was a beautiful tactic there. That was just a beautiful tactic that presented itself. We'll look back and see what the engine felt about this position. Let's come up here.
while the moon hums low.
Alright, and a little magic. Evaluation bar pops up. Alright, so we did our Nimzovich Larsen, super flexible opening, right? Like I said, we could have had this idea with the D pawn, could move the central pawn, we could have moved our knight, and I'm pretty sure even knight to E2 is just fine. It's just such a flexible opening, that's why I like it. So basically, however the opponent plays, we can choose how to respond. That's nice. Alright, so we went with the D4 just to stop their pawn forward progress. And then I thought, oh, push pass. Yeah, Engine loves it as well. I mean, it just preserves the balance of the bar. And now they're starting to lose the advantage a little bit on the bar. So we say, let's be principled. We maybe missed a tactic, but this is still just fine. No, this is fine. Engine appreciates it. They take... Oh, wow, interesting. So we could have taken with either. It's actually better to take with the pawn than the bishop. I was unsure. I was thinking, yeah, you take with the bishop, you open your bishop, but you don't want to move your bishop twice in the opening. And we ended up making such great use of this B file here. It was actually extremely advantageous for us to take this way. And then they just took the knight, and this had no bearing. And now the evaluation bar likes what we're doing here. Agrees with everything. We did the little, hey, sack the knight, you know, take the knight. Well, we're hitting your queen, so it's not really a sack, is it? And then just walked into checkmate. So we got lucky on that one. Opponent walked into that one. And let's see if we can keep the momentum going. 1b3 again? Oh, let's mix it up. Mix it up, little 1d4 action. Oh, they go. With Fianchetto against 1d4, I mean... I don't know how this changes my plan. Usually my intention is to sacrifice the pawn. Let's just get a knight out and be principled, but I'm wanting to bring my pawn out. Yeah, just simply wanted and hoping they'll take this, hoping they'll waste a central pawn to take this. Okay, what is going on? What is the idea of this move? I suppose the whole idea is just you want to move your knight, but you also want to get your pawn out, so you move your pawn first. I mean, I'm not sure what else you're doing here, but I'm assuming they're going to get their knight to f6 next. I don't see any way to do anything about that. We could Fianchetto our bishop. We could defend our center. We could develop a knight. Let's go for the Fianchetto so we can get our pieces developed, get closer to castling. This move felt so passive, I feel like I didn't even have to think about what they were doing here. And again, why is everyone moving their knight to d7? They know something I don't know. It almost feels like my bishop is just meant to be on this square. But they just kick it away. That's this. They just kick it away. And I'm not sure how that helps us. Bishop out, kicks it away. Move our bishop down. You attack it, sack the knight for 2 pawns. So maybe sack the knight for 2 pawns and the bishop would be putting pressure on their position, but we would have lost a piece for that. Is that worth considering? It's always worth considering, but I just don't see how it gives us any advantage. Castling gets us closer to getting the rooks connected, and the knight out is just a super principled move. So I'm trying to think, if I bring my knight out, what is the intention of our opponent? Maybe they're just going to do a double Fianchetto. Let's get our knight out and see what they want to do. They put their knight on a super odd square. I'm assuming knight out or b6. Okay, so they're trying to get their queen out, maybe? I mean, I'm not sure the point of this. Maybe they felt I was going to push into their position. But I think it's fine. I think it's fine to push into the position because they would trade a central pawn for a flank pawn. Well, we would retake with the flank pawn and make this into a central pawn again. But if I go forward, I'm quite sure they would come forward, which would take a square away from their knight. A square it also can't go to, but block in their own bishop in the process. So it feels worth considering to move forward just for the purpose of inducing the pawn push so they block their own bishop in. And then we would simply castle. I suppose I could go forward and then they could take, so we'd have to recapture. and then they would take me and we would recapture, and we would no longer have the pawn in front of the knight. We do have the option of the bishop move, but then they're going to get the knight developed. So I don't think that's the way. Thinking castles, keep it simple. When in doubt, castle. So we're down 3 minutes on the clock. We got to move. Alright, so we could get our bishop out and they just kick us away. We take the knight, they take. Maybe it's time to develop the queen. So that way we can push the pawn without fear of our knight being a little loose. What does the opponent want to do? Maybe they want to get their knight into the game. If they move their knight in, we just kick it. So that's not a fear. We could prepare to move our pawns just to gain some space. I think that's just fine. I mean, hey, b4. Just get the space. What are you going to do about b4? Because their light square bishop's not out, so we don't need to be worrying about any light squared weaknesses. And my intention with b4 is to get some space, and then that way I have the option to put my queen on b3 or c2, but I could put it on b3 and it'll be behind the pawn. We could just move a3. b4. Let's go b4, because this way we can fianchetto, we can put the queen on one of these two squares. It just feels like it's opening the game up for us a little bit. Okay. So we probably want to take, they take back, and then we push. Because we're still trying to get rid of the central pawns. Both of us would be left with a pawn island, I suppose. We could take towards the outside. They recapture, we take, they take with knight. We could hit them with a check, though, if they ever move that knight. So we take, they take, we push. They take, we take back. I think we're going to have to go into that line because I just, if we go with the queen and we lose the pawn, it's, it's hitting our knight, and there's nothing we can do about that. Unless, maybe we go b3. Maybe we go b3, but then they take our central pawn for a flank pawn, and we don't want that. So with all that being said, we're going to go for the central push. And hey, our knight's hitting the square, our queen's protecting the pawn, so this pawn to d5 should be just fine for us. And we can go forward, they don't have the spot for the knight anymore. Oh, they push themselves. They probably want to push once more, if I would have to guess. Where's the knight going? They go forward. Where does our knight go?
Shadows are dancing, secrets they bring in the silver hours, soft swing.
I think we just need to develop our bishop. They're gonna attack. They're gonna attack us right here in the center. I mean, we could put our pawn out to pin the knight, so we could actually move our knight forward. I'm going to try this maneuver, moving the queen out with the sole intention of if they go forward, we can bring our knight forward and trade off the two knights. Yep, so we're going to go forward. Knight's pinned. We're going to trade it. They're going to take with the bishop. And then we just drop the queen back. We just drop the queen back to b3. Oh, cheeky. Well, hold on now. Because my knight's hanging at the end of this, right? Knight does hang at the end of this, so I'm thinking we just take. He attacks the queen, then we defend our knight. But if I take and he intermezzos by taking our piece first, is there some kind of tactic that we have available to us? I'm not sure. I don't see it. We could take the knight this way. They recapture with the pawn. And then we drop our queen back to defend our knight. Or we bring the bishop out and defend the knight that way. But I'm thinking they'll take first because they're putting a threat on our rook. Yeah, so I think they would take first. You have to consider that. So takes with the knight. You take bishop. I move the rook. Oh, this was like a blunder. No, that can't be good for us. I attack their knight. They just recapture and we get nothing. That's probably the worst scenario possible. We take with the knight. They take our knight. We get a discovered check out of that, actually. I kind of like that. We get the discovered check, so even though you hit our P... No, you can't. You're in double check. You'd be in double check, yeah. So we're going to go this way. You're going to have to take with the bishop. I don't think they have this because of the discovery. And it's a double check, yeah. So we're just going to move back. Question is where? Let's go B3 just to maintain some kind of threat. But now we got a knight in our position. So we're going to look to get rid of that immediately. We need this guy out of here. Take a little sip of coffee here. 2 minutes on the clock to 8 minutes. No worries at all. Alright, so they're trying to double up on attacking our knight. I suppose we should double defend it. I don't think there's a lot to think about. I think you have to double defend it. Okay, maybe we attack their knight, they take our knight, we take their knight, they take our rook. That's no good. And they'd probably take with the queen because in the queen trade they're going up a piece. If I do this, they would go up a piece. Probably better for them. I'm thinking we just have to double defend. We just have to. I'm not sure what else we do here. And we're looking to kick the knight next. We're looking to get our rook to the B file because it's a semi-open file. We're looking to get our other rook potentially to the D file. But we're making progress. We connected our rooks. Our opponent is yet to connect the rooks, but they have a very, very strong bishop here. Can move our knight. They would attack our knight. We would take the bishop though, and they don't. That's the last thing they want. If I take with knight, is there any check? There actually is. Very interesting. So let's consider the sacrifice. Takes with the knight, bishop takes, check the king, king moves forward. And I'm failing to see a follow-up. So I don't see a follow-up. Let's just overprotect our knight. I don't really like where our bishop is. This is pretty bad. We're actually going to have to move this knight next turn. This is pretty bad. All our pieces are just like all together here, looking like a TIE fighter from Star Wars. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do. Alright. Maybe it might be time to move our pawn forward. Do we want this pawn here? Yeah, let's move our pawn forward because if they take, they come in with the knight. Right, I don't think we're worried about that. Alright, let's get our knight attacking their knight while simultaneously attacking their bishop. So, yep, I would assume they take the bishop. Now we're hitting the rook. They could castle out of that. If they castle out of it, queen comes in though. So that's I didn't even see that as an option. Alright, my mistake. Alright. Oh, we can't take. Okay, so I guess we come forward. Is there a checkmate I'm missing? Oh, let me come this way. Yeah, oh no, they can't. Yeah, they can't because our knight would be guarding. I'm assuming we're wanting to take this pawn first, but this comes with check. This comes with check, but our king is super weak, so that's why I'm thinking take the pawn first. We'll take the pawn, then they move the knight there, but then we take the knight. But then they get a discover check. Oof, look at that discover check at the end of the line. That would be brutal. That would be brutal. That's the last thing we want. I'm assuming just bring the queen in. We could check him here. Oh, look at that. We hit this rook. So he's got to come forward, actually. He's got to come forward. Oh, and then we just grab the pawn. I think this is forced. Yeah, it's forced. Okay, he's gonna move the rook. He's gonna move the rook to the open file. Yeah, that feels pretty forced. And then what is our plan? Our plan is to not get checkmated. How do we not get checkmated? Okay, we just ran out of time.
Major fracture detected.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I can't find any moves. Let's try the game review on this one. Let's see where we went wrong. Oh, I had the evaluation bar. I forgot to take it off. Alright, so we played some book moves. Oh, look, we played a lot of book moves. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we played 5 book moves. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, we were fine up to this point. Opponent made the mistake, and we figured out how the push was not the move. We were supposed to take back? Yeah, we were supposed to take back. Take back's good. Or either maybe let him take into us. So, but it was fine. No, it wasn't fine, because yeah, this E-push, and we saw this. We needed to do something about the E-push. Wow. But I felt like they could just take the pawn. Why can you not take the pawn? Because I can't recapture, I'd lose my knight. So do I slide the rook over to sacrifice? No. I was thinking, oh, sacrifice because you're lined up with the king. And that's not worth it. So what's the big idea here? What is the big idea? I suppose we got to move our knight, yep. Alright, so the engine likes this. And so we're putting some pressure on the pawn. Can't go forward, we just take it with the bishop. So yeah, I needed to find this knight move. I just didn't see the purpose. But the purpose is you just open your bishop. Alright, we failed to spot the maneuver. And then we get in this weird position. Yeah, this was terrible. I tried to over-defend the knight. That was not the move. Probably d-file would have been fine and better. No, it's not. My other idea was to come to the b-file. And so the engine hates both my ideas. So they wanted me to kick the knight immediately? No. Alright, move not so obvious. If it's not to kick the knight, and it's not to move the rook to a better location, what's the big idea here? Maybe the big idea is get the bishop into the game? No, terrible. Computer dislikes this move. The old sacrifice the knight. Yeah, I kind of saw this, but... because it was the same reason. See, I keep thinking I'm hanging a knight, but I'm not hanging a knight because I have the queen with the double take the rooks maneuver. And we saw this in the game. Failed to execute it. Alright, and then the knight backwards was just atrocious. What do they want? Knight forwards? Yeah. The knight's supposed to go forwards, not backwards. Even though it can go backwards, it's just passive. But they try to kick the knight, and then we have the check. And then so the king's going to attack our knight. Oh, it can attack our knight because, wow, this beautiful queen move to pick up their knight. Oh my goodness. I did not see this sequence during the game, but it's quite plain to see here. And now it feels like we're in trouble. Oh, I'm getting checkmated, but no, engine says, oh, you're chilling. You're chilling. And I think we're running out of time here. Yeah, 6.9 seconds at this point, and we just lost the thread. We're actually in a winning position. What's the move? I suppose try to trade the queens off. Nope, that's a blunder. Why is this a blunder? Oh, yeah, that would be a major blunder. That because there's a brilliant move. That would be a major blunder. I think our opponent would have found it. All right. But yeah, it's a great move, but then they can still do the brilliant on us, but we take it, and they'll check us. Is that like the only square for the king? Yeah, that is a blunder. So what do you have to defend with the knight? You have to defend with the knight. Not so easy to see. So the queen defends it. But yeah, this would have been +4 for us, and probably findable moves. And I'm assuming you're going to want to move the rook next, so maybe they move their rook, we would move our rook, and they would trade the queen for the 2 rooks. Maybe. Maybe they would have a smarter maneuver, trade the knights first. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think our opponent's a little more clever than that, though. Alright. And yeah, big blunder. Oh, that didn't happen in the game. We ran out of time. Or what happened in the game? That's not what happened. Anyways, let's run it back. Let's run it back. Need 10 minutes here. Sorry, I'm lagging. I'm a lagging dragon. Alright, let's hope the opponent can take more time than us, because I'm taking a little too much time on the moves. We'll get it settled. We'll get it settled and figured out. So let's go with our little c5 maneuver. The whole point is, if you get d4, we take. Alright. And I think we always take here. And then we get our knight out. This is some sort of theory. Our opponent moves very quick, but I'm assuming e6 is just fine. e6 is probably fine. a6 maybe a move because it's very thematic in this opening. See, they have the bishop check. That's the whole purpose. Yeah, let's just move a6. It's very thematic, so they're trying to push. Let's move our pawn forward, actually. I'm expecting them to push, and then we'll go a6 to prevent the check. I mean, if they want to check us, maybe... Oh, they're not going to check us at all. It's because they're not checking us, so they move forward. e5 is probably fine. Let's go a6 just to prevent that. I'm assuming they're going to go this way now. So they're going to move their pawn forward? No, they didn't do that. If we get our knight into the game, they'll attack it. We'll attack their pawn. They'll recapture to threaten our knight once again. Then we'd have to move over. And then they would probably take our knight with their knight. And then we would take with our pawn. Because the bishop blocks the queen, no queen trade. Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to get into this. So knight out gets attacked. We take, they take back. We come forward. They take our knight. We take with the pawn. We're going to lose this nice little central pawn, though. That's keeping their knight at bay. But we'll have our other knight. So that's quite fine. And our bishop will open up. I don't think that's terrible. Let's do it. Let's go for it. So I'm expecting comes down and knight to e5. Maybe they'll pin us. Maybe they'll pin us. If they do, we'll just move our bishop. Maybe they castle. I'll probably move the bishop all the same. And why not? Never hurt nobody. All right. Move our pawn forward. They would move their pawn forward, but then we would get our knight into position. They would potentially take with their knight. We take back and have a weak pawn. Don't want to do that. I like to preserve castles because oftentimes you don't need the castle. Like you put your bishop in front of your king, and I mean you have like a cube of pieces. Kind of hard to get to the king. We could move our knight out. Let's move our knight in and just disrupt their light square bishop. I think they want this bishop to come alive at some point. Oh, okay. All the way back then. All the way back. Well, let's think about this. If I move my pawn with the intention of developing the bishop, they'll come forward, attack the knight. So we would capture. They would recapture. Our knight would have to come forward. Oh, I like this because we have our knight on the b square. So yeah, let's go with that. Question is, do we want b6 or b5? b5, you move your pawn 2 spaces in one move. b6, you keep it tight. I suppose we'll go for the space. I suppose we'll just go for the space. I couldn't tell you the difference, but it seems fine. Okay, so they're trying to make it so they can do these tactics. What if we ignore it? What if we say, hey, take my knight? So I move my bishop, you take my knight. I take, you take. Yeah, we don't have the recapture, so that would be absolutely atrocious. Let's save the knight. Let's save the knight right at cowboy. And let's see what we're gonna do here. But it seems fine for us. I mean, I don't see where the weakness is. I suppose our weakness is on g7. Well, our knight's undefended, so let's remedy that. Alright, I think a big trade is coming in the center. It may make sense to castle. Bishops are looking this way, but they probably want to be 2 squares over to really put the threat on us. So we could fianchetto, get our bishop aimed at their king. I think that's just fine, because I think they do want to push this forward. And we're going to see a very big trade here. The question is, should we keep the king and castle the king, or keep it in the center and just develop the bishop? Or come forward, they would trade, bring our knight into the position. But where's it going? Where's that knight going? Let's develop the bishop. Oof, we just got to be careful, because they're going to push one of these 2 pawns. Push the pawn, we have to do the trade, and then there would be the queen trade, but we're defended. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get the bishop developed, just to get the extra defender on the queen for when this inevitable trade happens. And we may castle. We may look at castle next. If I castle, they're going for 100%. What if we beat them to the punch? We go forward. They take, we recapture, then we see the big trade. It would open up our bishop, but we would have our king, looking at this rook. Alright, let's get the king out of the center, and then we'll go for the trade. We'll blow it up. We'll blow it up.
Enemy engaged.
Alright, so opponent is prepared. Alright. So we're going to take. We're going to move our knight in, they're going to trade, we're going to come back. Well, I suppose we could take with the queen. And then they could do like a cheeky check. But then we would just take the bishop. Hold on, is this is a Greek gift here if we're not careful, right? You take with the bishop, I take with the king. You check. No, you can't, because my beautiful dark square bishop. So because that beautiful dark square bishop, maybe they want to get rid of it first. Are we falling into shenanigans? The reason I like taking with the queen is because we would put our own counter threat. That's why I like to take with the queen. But I'm just worried about the Greek gift. So I take with the queen. He sacrifices the bishop, we recapture with the king, he brings in the knight, we capture, he takes with the bishop, he's going to have a check, No, he can't take with the bishop. Well, yeah, he could, because our queen would have moved in that position. If we take with the pawn, he's going to come push us. Oh, then we can take that pawn, that would be beautiful. So even though he's got a rook aiming at our bishop, the bishop is defended by knight and queen, and you would have opened up. You'd open up my rook, because there's going to be a pawn. Alright. We could just say, enough with your shenanigans, move the bishop to an undefended square. He would come forward to kick it out. We'd move it all the way back. I think that could be fine. So I'm looking at bishop forward. Yeah, but then maybe the Greek gift does work for our opponent in that scenario. Perhaps it does work.
Every single
Not sure.
note
It's probably more principled to take with the pawn. Yeah, let's just take with the pawn.
goes through
Let's keep both of these pieces looking, because I'm assuming the sacrifice, the opponent really wants the sacrifice.
trumpet by
I'm assuming the opponent would love this sacrifice.
cigarette smoke, a twisting vine.
They're thinking about it.
Shadows dance
They're
at
thinking
the
about it.
whiskey sour
You have to. So I retake with the king. You have the check, but then I take. You
but
take.
not as fine as you.
Oh, but then my queen comes in. Yeah, the Greek gift's just not quite there.
Soft trumpet by gaslight moon.
I think it's just not quite gonna work out.
Every single note.
Maybe we need to move g6 and make a very, very dark squared weakening move to where if they ever get their bishop onto the dark square, we're gonna be in big trouble. Okay, so that makes this move, I think, more appealing. But it doesn't really do anything.
Maybe tomorrow's sun will rise. Wash
Right.
away these lonely cries.
We have to get our pieces into the game somehow.
Open up my weary
I'm thinking pawn forward.
eyes. No more
If he
wishing
takes, he opens our rook. If he pushes forward,
soft trumpet
if we go
by
forward, he would probably
gaslight
push
moon.
forward. And then where's our queen going?
Every single note alone
I think it's time to get our queen into the game.
echoes through this concrete stone.
If we put our queen on c7 and he comes forward, we would take. He takes us with check. Recapture. Yeah, I don't think they would go for that. That would surely be terrible for them. So what should we do instead? Running out of time. I mean, yeah, I like the queen here. Let's just move our queen out. We have to be very careful. I think there's just a Greek gift right around the corner. We've been saying this for a long time. And maybe the opponent's not even considering it. Maybe they're thinking, hey, that's not even possible. But I like to think they're smarter than the ordinary bear.
Where the whispers play, the walls hold secrets they won't betray.
Did I put away the...
A swing set sways in a velvet gloom, dancing to the rhythm of a smoky perfume. Oh, the swing set sways under the moon's sly grin, where love begins or ends in sin. A push,
Our opponent attacks the knight. I'm sure that's a great move. Starting to pressure us a little bit. Should we just go forward? Yeah, let's just go forward and let's just end the idea of you sacrificing your bishop. Probably en passant here. And I'm thinking we retake with rook with the idea to double our rooks. 90 seconds left. Got to speed up a little bit. My whole idea is just stop your bishop. None of this. None of this.
Laughter hides like a cat in the dark.
Train's coming for us, though. We got 90 seconds. We got a train to catch.
It leaves its mark. A secret shared, a kiss untold. The swing set sways, both shy and bold. It keeps its
I think we have to move forward now because our pawn is on pre, or we let them take it to put a tempo on the queen. But I don't think that's the way. We could, hold on now. Move our bishop out. They're probably going to have to defend their pawn. Move our bishop out, they're going to defend their pawn. They're going to be one step closer to doubling their rooks.
A push, a pull, the pendulum sings.
we got a minute left. All right, let's start presenting some threats. Let's start presenting some threats. Okay. Take that trade, and we'll attack the rook. We were double defended. They're double attacking. Could see a trade here. I'm assuming they just move their rook in front of the pawn, and then they'll be in a position to take it. Move the rooks in front of the pawn, and what is our move? Oh, they didn't do that. Let's just get our rook in front of their pawn. We really need to move this knight to open up our bishop. So I'm thinking we're going to reroute the knight. Oh, maybe reroute it this way. Yeah, why not? Get on the f4 square. There's only so many squares, right? We could go all the way back to d8. Oh, what? Did I just blunder? Thinking I did. But we move on. We got 40 seconds, no time. 40 seconds to 4 minutes, no time to think about this. We got to get a move on. So we're attacked. Okay. 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 Suppose we just bring the queen over. Shut the. Oh. What? Okay. Is our opponent really threatening something here? Maybe. I don't know. Guess we're gonna try to go for the queen trade though, if we can manage it. Actually, yeah, all right, we got to get a move on, and I really like this move because look at our bishop. He had to go for that, and now we're hitting the knight. All right, so they're gonna get a rook out of this. But hey, maybe we get the pawn. Maybe we get the pawn out of this, because if you come forward, I attack it with the bishop. Alright, so we attack it with the bishop. I'm assuming they're going to put the threat, and then we're just going to take. Like, we're going to take, and then we're going to move our bishop to f7. So we got 18 seconds. What? Well, let's take with the rook. Simplify the position a little bit. I mean, a knight and a bishop against the rook. I've seen worse odds. But we have to get everything protecting each other. I'm assuming knight here is very nice. Oh. Let's just do it. I was trying to get the knight here to stop the rook coming in. But we didn't really stop the rook coming in now, did we? The bishop is unprotected, is the issue. Oh, now this pawn's protected, though. So he's going to come forward. Right. And yeah, I'm not sure what to do in this position. We have 5 seconds. Goodness. Well, let's move towards the king. We're going to lose the pawn back here. Alright, and let's get our bishop protecting our pawns. Maybe we'll just move the pawn up. Knight probably better. And forward. Point second. Oh, this is pre-move time here.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. When you're not really
fine.
but you just can't get into it.
We're fine. We're fine here. 0.7 seconds in BD. Can't really move your king. Oh, ah! All right. All right. They got us. They got us. They got us. All right. We're winning here. This is a winning position for black, actually, surprisingly. So we were marching towards something. We were marching towards losing on time. Not sure of the move. I'm going to take a 2-minute intermission here. I'll be right back. Let me check on something here.
Shadows dance in my head. Another lonely night, it's true. What's a girl like me to do? Oh, that lantern light, slow blue. just sings away my blues. Lantern light, take me home, never leave me all alone. Whispers soft and low, where did my sweet baby go?
Alright, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Left me here.
Let's run it back. I don't know what happened here. Alright, let's see. Let us see what happened here. Sorry, I'm just low T today, guys. I'm low T. Opponent knew what they were doing. Because, as we say, the whole purpose of moving our C pawn is to take the D pawn. So their whole purpose of moving their C pawn is to recapture and say, no, I'm going to keep a pawn on the D file no matter what you do. Fair enough, we're going to take it. Alright, we come to this position. So moving the knight was bad. I thought we were disrupting it. They just pushed the bishop back. And the valuation bar is in favor of the white side. So there's a move we're supposed to find here, and we're already starting to lose the thread. I'm assuming castles. Yes, computer wants castles in this position, but we didn't go for the castles. We went for the knight maneuver, had to get kicked back out. Bishop developed, and then we castled. They pushed the pawn forward. And we proceeded the right way. Oh, no, no, no. So the knight did not want to come to this square. We were supposed to come and double attack the pawn. Are you kidding me? That makes sense, because then you get your queen out and triple attack it. But we took 1 second to think and played the wrong move. But that's okay. It's only plus 1.4. It's very hard for a 1,000 rated player to convert a plus 1.4 advantage. Usually you're going to win from a tactical blunder. Which maybe we did. They did the Greeks the gift, which they wanted this whole time. Here was our blunder. Here was our blunder. Sliding the rook over. Went from +2 to +3.5. Alright. +1 acceptable. +2, you're starting to sweat. +3, you're in trouble. Alright. So they did the Greek gift. The gift, it didn't work. It never was going to work. We had this beautiful queen slide, and that wasn't even the best play. So the computer saw an even better move. Was it just queen over? No, it'd be +10. It's not even checkmate. Well, they couldn't do that because we would take.
Streetlights blink like they've got a plan.
Our opponent just went in.
Neon signs,
And we couldn't find it, right? So we're -4 and we go back to -1. So we're supposed to find a play here. I mean, we can't attack the queen, we lose the knight. So what's the big deal? Ooh, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That move just hopped out at me, right? Because what are you going to do about this bishop? It's like, oh, you're going for the fork on my rooks. You can't go for it. Wow, what a nasty move. Yeah, I should have seen this during the game, probably. We gotta do more puzzles. We're gonna hit some puzzles one of these days. And figure out how to be better tactician. But we're dead even here. It's totally fine. Dead even here until we move the knight. Hello.
Hi, sexy.
Hello. And yeah, I don't know what to do here. We just lost the thread. I mean, we were fine. We had the rook and the bishop, or I'm sorry, the knight and the bishop against the rook, and we couldn't figure it out.
What are you doing tonight?
Excellent. How are things going? How are things going today? Oh, what a nice pawn move. Yeah, opponent knew what was going on. We ended up in a winning position, but they knew we were down on time. 2 minutes 30 seconds.
OMG, I ate so much food for Easter.
Well, you get some chocolate. Get a chocolate master. Just had a nice, beautiful feast. Let's see here. We're gonna start a new game. Had some banana bread. Some banana bread with some walnuts in it. That was the extent of my chocolate. All right, you got me thinking about ham
A
and
big
mashed
Puerto Rican
potatoes.
fest.
Ooh, okay. Let's go C right here. Get the C pawn. Whole purposes. They move D. We take it. And d6 is very common, so when we get the knight out, they come forward, we can recapture and not worry about anything. Alright, this bishop moves
What did
interesting.
you do for Easter?
I didn't really do much of anything, I'll be honest. About halfway through the day and realized, oh, it's Easter, I should probably call my parents. But I failed to prepare. I never really traditionally celebrated Easter, but I've gone on egg hunts in the past where they put like quarters into eggs and they hide them around a public park and you try to find the eggs with the quarters. Some have pennies, some have dimes. You might get $1 if you're lucky. So those little egg hunts are fun. Alright, what are we doing here? I'm just expecting they're trying to get a knight sacrifice in. Whereas even if I move this pawn and they come in with the knight, they're still probably
You
going to
must be
take.
single, lol.
You got that right. You got that right. Alright.
A saxophone whispers secrets untold.
So what are we going to do here? We could get our knight out, very principled. I'm just thinking they really want to get their knight here for the sacrifice. Let's just move our e-pawn to discourage the knight forward. Okay, they castled. I'm assuming we get our knight out. This is very principled. Alright, we take the b-pawn. Yeah, hold on, wait. Let me make it funny. Yeah, I'm single.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So they're giving us the pawn. They're giving us the pawn. There's a 0 chance, no way. Yeah, I think we have to take a central pawn. It's just they're so valuable. Alright, and now he's threatening. This is an interesting move that would defend and hit the queen, but I'm quite sure it's not the best because we would lose to the bishop capture. Alright, we come back. He probably pins us. Life goes on. Let's try not to fall on time. Alright, they're hitting our g-pawn. I did want to move the bishop out to e7, so that would surrender our pawn. I don't think that is the way. Hit the bishop. No. Let's be principled. Get the knight out. Alright. Recapture. We could develop the bishop or put it in the center. Rook to the open file. It's principled. I mean, their king is already castled. We're lagging in development. So that's the only issue. That is the only issue. We could attack the bishop. It'd have to retreat, but maybe it wants to retreat. Maybe that's where he wants to put the bishop.
I am not at all sure.
Alright, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out here. Move the bishop out. He takes our pawn. We move the rook. Where's the queen going? I suppose they'll go back. And then we move our rook forward. And then maybe the queen just comes back. No, actually the queen couldn't come there because our bishop would be on e7. Should I entice him to take the pawn? I think it's just like an even game if I do that. I don't know how to take advantage of it, but I think we get the file in front of the king, which should be very powerful. And then we get a bishop out, and that's a bayonet. I kind of like that. Let's prep it with the bishop first. Why not? Alright, so what is the opponent trying to do? They're trying to come around? I mean, what are they trying to do here? They're trying to stop me from pressuring the light squares. That makes sense. I think that's their plan. But we gotta develop. We have to develop. I move the bishop. He takes. Move the bishop. He takes. We move the rook out. Queen comes back. We attack the queen with the idea of eventually getting a rook behind the other rook that we put on the g6 square. Queen, I just don't know where the queen goes. Maybe the queen goes in front of our king? Hard to say. Gotta get ready. I really want to see this. But we could just the same thing, kind of our bishop and castle the king. And the reason I like that is because the bishops aren't quite exerting pressure. Okay, maybe they come over, but that's going to take a few moves. Then what is my bishop doing? Okay, actually, yeah, let's just go for the fianchetto. Running out of time, and this way we're threatening the castle soon. But maybe we don't castle. Maybe we push the pawns. Figure it out.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll try. Alright. We could attack the queen, trade the bishop. Yeah, but that wouldn't help us in that situation. Let's just fianchetto the bishop, make a very strong king if we decide to castle kingside. Alright, this is a problem. This is definitely a problem. I'm just going to be simple and go forward, and we're going to castle, and we're going to attack on the b file. First, I'm going to kick this bishop out. And, oh, do I recapture with the queen or the bishop? The advantage of not capturing with the queen is I can move it to this b square. The advantage of capturing with the queen is it's easier to connect my rooks. So, I guess I'll capture with the queen just for the intention of connecting the rooks. 353 to 854. This is not a good time situation. Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no! Okay, hold on. We are in trouble. We may have to bring the queen back here. Yes, we most definitely. Alright. We have to bring the queen back. I don't see another way. This is fine for us though. Our rooks still get connected if he takes. We won't need to castle, we'll just enter the end game if he trades off queens. Should I go for the repetition here? Go for the repetition, put a threat on the queen and say, look, I don't need to castle. I could just move my rook to the g file and try to press your king this way. What is our opponent threatening? I don't really see what they're threatening. It's very risky to move this g-pawn because we'll no longer have the safety of castling. Our light squares would be super weak if I were to move this pawn. We might try to do a reroute. Alright, we'll figure it out. I think this pawn push is pretty reasonable. e5. e5 is pretty reasonable. But where's the queen go? Probably just to g4. Queen g4, I think we bring the bishop back because our bishop's not doing anything. Alright, let's do it. Let's go for it. We're maintaining the flexibility of being able to castle with the king. Alright, we could attack. Let's just castle. Let's castle. Let's give up on the pawn push. 2 minutes and 30 to 8 minutes 23. 6 minutes on the clock. Goodness gracious.
Access denied.
I'm assuming rook to the B or the D file. Or maybe the F pawn comes forward. Let's get... I come forward, he moves the bishop, and then we attack it with our pawn. Oh, very clever. Oh, our opponent is classy. That's a classy move right there. I mean, I gotta give credit. Really, I didn't see that. Alright, let's get our queen off the file here with the rook. We don't want to see that. Oh! It was the same tactic! Oh! Goodness gracious. It was the same tactic. Well, gotta do something. 2 minutes left. Oh, I just blundered the queen. Goodness gracious. This is a nightmare. Yeah, this is looking like an L. It's looking like an L, but we're gonna persist. We're gonna persevere to the end. We got 3 pieces. We don't have the pawn push. I mean, we don't want to go hunting pawns, but at least our rook would start to threaten something. Maybe double the rooks. Yeah, this is a big problem here. This is a big problem. Alright, we're gonna move our king up. The idea is to push the pawn and threaten the queen. He can't really come in yet, so let's continue with our plan. Gotta threaten something. Right? He stops the threats. Just move our rook in front of the pawn. Oh goodness gracious, the pawn was pinned. I didn't even see that. This is a classy opponent right here. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. I can hear the I can hear the sirens. I can hear the train coming for us. Yeah, this is about game over right here. I mean, what can you do? Put the rooks together and try to do something. Alright, he's going for the pin. Let's get out of it. Well, I guess maybe this rook move first to get the queen out of here. And then we'll get our rook on the e file over and around. Opponent stops it. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good for us. Let's just attack the queen again, defend the bishop and our pawn. Our position just fell apart. We just keep attacking the queen. I mean, yeah, we have to do something. I don't see how we're making progress. Okay. Well, if we go down, then maybe queen comes up trying to take our pawns, create a pass pawn, and walk it down. So we don't want to move our rook. We gotta do something. Where does the bishop go? We need a square for the bishop. Oh goodness. I don't know. I moved the king. I was trying to move the bishop. I'm panicking. We're panicking. Alright, hold on now. Connect the rooks. They're stronger together. Maybe reroute the bishop this way. How about that? How about that? So we're maintaining. Attack the queen. Oh! This guy is like the king of the pin. Oh, it was still pinned! Oh, what a noob maneuver. So we can't come forward on the dark squares. Let's try the light squares. I don't see the check, if there is one. Assuming he takes the pawn. Simplest way to victory would be just to take the pawn. Let's come this way. Alright, check the king. Oh, another pin. Get out of the pin. Forward. I kind of like this opponent. Everything I do just pins me. Like I'm not mad at it. I kind of respect it. I feel like I'm learning the danger of the pin here. All right, this is it's Operation Stalemate. It's like Operation Stalemate, but I got too many moves. Maybe at some point we can sack a rook. Oh, this is the same pin. I just keep falling for. We'll just go for it.
But here with you, it's golden play.
Okay.
Your laughter's like a lilting breeze. It wraps me up, it sets me free.
Right.
Oh, every
So let's move
glance,
here.
a
Oh,
sweet refrain.
the trouble there. Just absolute trouble. Let's see what happened.
In the velvet
I don't know when we lost the thread, but we just all of our pieces fell. Like blundered the queen away, and then there was never a chance.
The waltz of hearts, a timeless dance, a
here.
fleeting touch, a stolen chance. Beneath the stars,
Could be
we
pawn.
softly sway in velvet glow.
Right, traded the knight. Yeah, so this G6 was weakening. We never needed to do this. I think we should have preserved the pawn push. I wonder if H5 is a move. Yeah, H5 is a move in this position. Alright, that makes sense. That makes sense because you're starting to get towards the king. You're doing something as opposed to this extremely passive move which puts a bishop hitting nothing. was the wrong way, but we have an advantage here. Minus 1.4 according to the engine. And queen takes was proper. Had to bring the queen back. We're about to get into a series of pins. I think I moved my queen to a place where the knight literally just captures it for free. Yeah, so this is the first, I guess that's a skewer. And then we move here, and there's another skewer, it's a double skewer. Hit spacebar and went all the way down, okay. So instead, maybe just queen, yes, pretty obvious, right? The queen really wants to be facing the king. Instead, we find the double skewer, and we're just like, here, have the queen. We don't need her, it's all yours. Terrible, terrible. And then I feel like you have to give up the bishop now that you're in this position. Where are you going to move your bishop back? Computer preferred me to move my bishop back, funny enough. And then just opponent puts on a clinic. Again, with the pinned pawn. I didn't even see it. I mean, as soon as he did it, I saw like, oh, okay, yeah, it's pinned. And then we try to chase the queen around a little to no avail. And, ooh, classy rook trade. Maybe the opponent need to bring the rook in though, try to checkmate us. But they said, okay, we'll take the pawns, make a queen. That's a valid way to win. Protect their king. And then they got us with the pin here. They didn't even need to take. I guess technically could have moved backwards and maintained the pin, and we'd have still been in trouble. Well, slightly less accurate. And we run out of time here in this losing position. Let's do better this time. Let's get our little 1v3 action. Right, bishop out. Lots to do here, right? We can move the knights out. We could push pawns. Let's just push the pawn, opening up the bishop. Alright, c4 is a move here. They may push, and we big trade. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's go for a rare bishop pin tonight. I don't always do this. Usually they break the pin, or they move their bishop out, or they just develop a knight and ignore it. Alright, this is cutting edge technology. Most people don't know this, so this is a serious opponent. We have to take it very seriously. I move my knight forward, they come forward opening our bishop, but then where does our knight go? So we're probably going to want to move the pawn first so we have an option to move our knight somewhere. Let's do that now. We'll get our pawn up, and then we'll move our knight. Alright. We capture with the bishop, knight is pinned, we'll take the knight, and we'll develop our pieces. Right. Let's kick the bishop away. We could take with the pawn, but too many pawn islands, methinks. Alright. Look, that rook is trapped in the corner, so I guess we're going to go for this. Luckily I saw that. Probably gonna move their knight. Oh, they can't move the knight because we just take it. We move the pawn. Wouldn't this be annoying if we just move the queen this way? Alright, let's consider our options here, because we could lose the thread. We're potentially up a rook. We simply take the rook. But the rook's not going anywhere, so he could develop a piece. They would come forward. Then we would bring our knight even further into the position, so I don't think they would do that. We move our knight out. What would the opponent do? Maybe they would move their knight out with the intention of getting one step closer to protecting their rook. Yeah, we could just take the rook. Maybe castles is better here. I think a knight out or castles is probably better because the rook can't go anywhere and he's not hitting the bishop yet. Oh, maybe next move he comes here with the queen. I take the rook. And the bishop will be trapped. Take a pawn on the way out. We could check the king now. Hold on now. Checking the king looks pretty brutal because there's nothing to block. Let's check the king. Hold on. Check. Has to come forward. follow-up. Maybe just bring our knight in. Bring our knight in. Yeah, let's try that way. So we'll check first. King comes forward, so one of these two squares is forced. And then we bring the knight in. Well, hold on now. He's giving us another check. Check and queen blocks. And then we get to trade. It's not as fun as coming in with the knight, is it though? Knight comes forward. Knight comes forward. No, he doesn't want to attack the knight. He would trade, and then the queen would have this whole file. I mean, this whole rank. Maybe we don't know how to take advantage of that. Got another check here, but I don't think that does anything. I'm thinking move into the position with the queen. It just feels more dangerous. Let's move in with the queen. We don't want to fall short on time pressure. If he moves the queen, we're probably going to have to trade. Alright, he didn't. So let's get our knight involved now. So now we do have the check. Check on d5. Oh, take it away. So if we move the knight, he would take our rook. Okay, we could be losing the thread here. Could have got a little too cheeky here, but I don't think this is over for us yet. I think this is far from over. If I come forward, you take the knight. There's no good follow-up there. Maybe check.
Neon signs blinking low.
Check and the king has to go backwards.
Another Saturday night.
So check, that's probably a safer square, right? So we check and the king goes this way. Then we have the check in front of the king, which feels pretty good. Or we just bring the knight in and say, I don't need that rook. I'm gonna try to checkmate you, but I don't see it. Or we just move our bishop. Yeah, but then the knight. Maybe we should have cashed in on our advantage. Maybe we failed. Oh, but look at this. King forward. King forward just protects, you know. King forward protects, but we're coming in the way of the queen. We are coming in the way of the queen. That's the issue. King forward, pawn forward. And where do we move the knight? I guess we move the knight to the corner, and then he's going to take with the discovered checks. We're going to have to take. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Catching every single light.
Or we sack the knight. Right? We just castle. Take my knight. I move my rook. Hold on now. What if I come forward? You take me. I take you. You take my rook. I check here. My pawn is going to be exerting pressure on the dark square, so you probably would have to move backwards. But we have lost a rook and a knight for probably something not so good. I think the castles, though. Castles? Maybe we castle this way. If I move the rook, you take my knight, I take your rook. Oh, you take my knight with check. I see. That's the issue, is it comes with check. So maybe I gotta come forwards. Got myself into a pickle here. If I come forward and you take... No, I think if I come forward, they're gonna check me, because that's a very powerful check. Maybe I should check first. Maybe I should check and try to trade the queen too. Let's check. Hopefully we can trade the queens, because I'm just not seeing how to deal with the tension on this knight. At least if we trade the queens, and let's trade the queens, then I can just come forward. It feels a little less stressful. All right, now you can't take my check. I just take back, and the rook is still in the corner this whole time. That was tough to decipher.
silhouette dancing slow.
Maybe we take your rook, take my knight. I come forward and we're in the end game. Yeah, let's do it. You take my knight, I come forward. We're in the end game. Gotta stay on the light squares. And their pawns on dark squares kind of weakens their bishop, right? So we want to keep their pawns in the dark squares. Alright, this bishop is about trapped. Maybe we wiggle out though. Maybe we wiggle out the bishop. Maybe we... Let's see. I'm curious. What's our opponent thinking? Let's get the rook to the center. Let's move our king up first. I don't see any checks. Well, okay, I do now that I got checked. I see it now. I didn't before. But I don't know if that's necessarily a great spot for the knight, right? It's stopped by a pawn here. You come forward, maybe I just kick you, but then you come over here. Fair enough. But let's move towards getting our bishop free. How about that? Now we come forward. We're gonna lose this pawn, but I mean, do we care about this? Do we care about that? I don't think we do. We're up +2, right? We could sack the rook back. Okay. Am I missing something? King and rook are on different colored squares, so unforkable. Yeah, I'm thinking sack the rook back just to deal with this very strong pawn and bishop combo. Let's just go ahead and do that. No, we don't have to worry about it. And then we get our bishop back. Our bishop's safe. A lot of things have happened. Oh, but I wanted to put my bishop over here. Well, opponent's not going to let us. And really, why would they? Alright, so I guess I come backwards. You take with the knight. Alright, come forwards. You take with the knight. Put pressure on the knight. Where's the check in that position? There is none. Yeah, I'm just thinking forward because it's the end game, right? I mean, okay, we could slide over. We could slide over. Yeah, let's slide over. I like that because now the rook has a C file. Rook has a C file, and then let's just go ahead and put the rook there now. Any checks? I don't see it. But you gotta watch out for the forks. I mean, if I had put the king on this square, there's a fork somewhere. Alright, let's bring the bishop back. He's gonna trade off. Okay. Expecting a trade. I don't think it's good. Yeah, you could pin our pawn, but I don't think that's good. And we're in the end game now. So I'm thinking rook forwards, just to take the file, take the rank, I should say. Could check the king and trade rooks. Do we like that endgame? A lot of pawn islands. Let's move our pawn forward first. Maybe we check. Let's check the king to move our king forward into the position. Alright, 59 seconds to 7 minutes. No big deal. Let's move our pawn forward because I really just don't see what else to do. I suppose we'll get the king into the position next. Yeah, let's do it. And maybe just move the pawn forward as well. Slowly inching forward. And let's get into this position here. He's going to come down to put a threat on our pawn. Well, I would have expected that. Let's just take this pawn while we figure out what the opponent wants to do. I'm going to get my king closer to their king. Alright, get my king closer with the intention to check here. Our pawn falls. We might lose 2 pawns. Alright, let's check. They could check us. Check the king, see where they want to go. And push our pawn forward. We have to be very careful. Very, very careful. Okay. I'm just inching my pawns forward. Okay. Gotta come forward. Just gotta check here. And he's out of checks. Oh my goodness. Well, that's what we had to be careful of. 26 seconds.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is trouble. But we gotta do something here. We ain't just gonna roll over and die. Keep fighting till the end. Just in case. But this should be relatively simple for our opponents. Sack the rook, walk the pawn down. And let's see if they can checkmate us. Let us see. Train's coming. Operation Stalemate is a go. We have to make it challenging for them. Don't make it easy on them now.
Whiskey sour feeling fine.
Set up.
But not as fine as you.
Run out of squares! I'm running out of time.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never
Played a
understand.
great game. Opponent was extremely tough. You got to give them all the credit in the world. Let's see what happened. Got our pieces out. Fought for the center. Yeah, we had a massive advantage here. You'd think this would be a better advantage with the doubled pawns, and we have the lead in development.
Maybe tomorrow sun will rise.
They were probably supposed to get the knight out. Yeah, they were definitely supposed to get the knight
Wash
out.
away these
The bar looks like it's a lot. It's only plus 0.8. I mean, I'm not taking advantage of plus 0.8 over the course of the whole game. Alright, so where did we lose the thread? We were just supposed to take all the way back here. So instead we got greedy. And what about, I had considered castles, right? Castles would have been fine. We traded the queens, and this was good. This was the way to go. But at some point, we just didn't understand how to play the end game. Was I supposed to attack the knight? Well, it would have been better than what I did. But what's the idea here? Let me get the rook off the corner. So they want me to get my bishop out instead of moving the king forward. Still we have an advantage, and we do end up getting the bishop out. And the king forward again! It's just a blunder. You gotta go backwards. You gotta go backwards. Alright. Let's see it here. So the rook wasn't supposed to take the pawn. Were we supposed to get our other rook to the center? No. Trade bishops? No. I mean, the king can't move backwards. That'd be nice. Get the king out of the middle? No. Oh, just attack the bishop. Yep. That makes sense. That makes sense. We thought about it for long enough to get there. We were supposed to attack the bishop, but we said, let's sack back. And again, still plus 2. So not terrible. This is where we lost the advantage here, moving the rook in front of the pawn. I thought that was fine. Yeah, but they didn't find a way to preserve the balance, so we still maintained the plus 3 advantage. This was a roller coaster of a game, up and down.
The pendulum sings in the shadow room swing set where the heartstrings.
And we were doing fine, and we blundered the rook actually, so we were doing fine. Inching the pawns up. I suppose the rook here, it's not the best move, but still you're maintaining a good advantage. At least I understand what's going on. We try to target the pawn, we come forwards. Maybe try to double our pawns. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is probably some complicated endgame here. So we just said, let's just go ahead and blunder the rook. Like, oh, be careful, be careful. And and we walked right into it.
A secret
Alright, gotta give the opponent
shared,
credit.
a kiss untold, the swing set sways,
And then they
both
put on a
shy
clinic,
and
ran out of
bold. It
time,
keeps
couldn't figure out the
its
stalemate.
time, it sets the pace, a metronome in
I like the opponent's
love's
technique
embrace.
here. We could learn
Oh,
something, right?
this
Because I don't
wing
checkmate
set
people this way.
sways
But
under the
he's walking me
moon's
down.
light grin,
This seems to be a pretty good strategy here.
love begins or
And
ends
he's
in
giving me a couple
sin.
squares. My king always has these two squares, so I can't stalemate. But that's a good that's a good technique by our opponent. We could learn something. They clearly went to space camp. All right, let's run one more and call it a day. Come on now.
Heartstrings cling. So if you find the shadow room's
Those
door,
are little Sicilian maneuvers.
step in but beware, it's a heart's folklore.
Night out.
The swing
Uh-oh, be very careful. Very, very
with its
careful.
gentle
Let's just keep everything tight. If they go for shenanigans, we move our pawn up. Get our knight developed quick as possible.
a dance yet begun.
A6, very thematic. We're just stopping the knight from coming in. And we have a big decision here. E6 or E5. I suppose E6. Keep it calm. Keep it collect. Bishop oftentimes comes to the center, but I like the idea of Phi and Keto because the dark squares look powerful for us, so let's go for the dark squares.
Leaves fall like whispers.
They got all their pawns on light squares here. Alright, so they're trying to preserve this bishop. Alright, let's continue our plan.
The air smells like fire, but
They're
it
going to attack our
don't
knight on the
burn.
next move. We can discourage that with H6.
It's the kind of heat you'll
But
never
I don't want to
quite
play H6. That doesn't seem great. I mean, if they attack our knight, we'll just move it.
Autumn smoke in my veins.
If they attack our knight,
Filling my
maybe in the future one day we can push our pawn and get to this F4 square.
every
Maybe they
breath
come
a
forward and put it in the
song,
corner with the intention to get on the F4
every
square. Knights on the room are
sigh
dim,
of
but I've heard a national master say it's okay to leave it there for a turn or two. And in fact, I've seen them do it. Alright.
Sweaters and shadows.
Moving to B pawn will help us develop our bishop.
The sun dips low like it's tired of the game.
I don't want a castle, just because maybe, we're going to castle into something. Like the pawns are already pushed forward, the bishop's already facing this direction. I would like to keep the king in the center. Let's develop the bishop this way, just so we keep our light squares super tight in the middle. And I'm looking at B5 just for the intention of getting our queen out. Okay, maybe our queen wants to come to C6. There's a check here on the king. Bishop would just boot us out. We could move our pawn up. Their knight's going to come in if we do this.
Underneath the faded moon.
I did take away a square for our knight though, so if they come forward we may actually be forced to move in the corner, and then okay, we push our pawn and come this way. They would trade us and get rid of our central pawn just for the purpose of putting a knight on F4. I don't think that's great for us, but we get a bishop out of it. H6, so if they come forward we take, their knight comes in. I would like to just develop the queen. So let's just go ahead and develop the queen. I mean, they have a knight, they have the knight coming in. Do we want to trade? We would block our own bishop, so no. if I push forward, the idea would be to trade off their light square bishop. They have an extremely powerful light square bishop, and ours is not very strong at all. So we don't want that.
Shadows dance in my head.
What to do here? Running out of time.
Another lonely night, it's true.
I mean, I think castles is fine, but why do I want to deal with these advanced pawns? I guess he would come forward and then I'd bring my knight in. But then my knight is just, for the whole game, it could be there.
Lantern light, take me home. Never leave me all alone.
E5, renewing the plan to trade the bishops off.
Where did my sweet
And I would like to trade the bishops off to where I get another pawn in the center. F5 would be open. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for that plan. Nothing else is really jumping out at me. I'm expecting the knight to come in, though, is the issue.
left is cold and
That is the issue. Yeah, we should have played H6, huh? Oh, that's okay. We'll just castle. And it's a little slower for them to push the pawns now. And we still have this idea. He's going to trade both the pieces? We'll take that trade. I'm expecting pawn to come down, force us to make a decision with our knight if we want to put it on the edge or reroute to G8, E6.
But tonight it's just
I think we take here, right? You take me, I take back. Yeah, I guess we'll let him take us. If he comes forward, we'll trade off, get the bishop. No, that's not bad. If he comes forward, we probably have to go forward. Oh, interesting. Could sack the knight. 2 pawns for a knight and we get a beautiful bishop. Let's do it. Let's do it. You only live once. Let's go for it. Now we don't have to worry about any pawn pushes, really. Okay, I guess this pawn pushes. Oh, why did I think there was no issue with this?
Moonlight slides through my window.
Alright, why did I think there was no issue with that? There was a slight issue.
City
We
whispers
carry on.
secrets
We carry on the plan.
never know.
Let's just get these rooks traded off. I don't like the
Her
rook
coffee cup
pinning my bishop to the king.
still warm.
So we'll
The
trade that off.
midnight glow.
I'm expecting him to push forward. Oh, took.
Oh,
So
but
pawn is most likely stronger.
I can't stop. I'm dancing
We
to
take
the
with the knight. We do have a check, though.
Tick
We do have a check.
tock, let the shadows drop.
Take with the knight. Come forward. Check the king. Tax the knight. I don't think he wants to do that. Because then my queen is going to come in. Maybe I should just move the queen in to get the check here. You know what? I'm going to get the bishop out of the corner. How about that? That probably is better. We have a check here. Okay, so he stopped the check. Let's get our queen in a better positioning. See, if we would have checked and he recaptured with the knight, queen was hanging in that position. Okay. Should we just attack the queen? I'm supposing so. Let's attack the queen and see where they want to move. I suppose they're going to pin us, huh? They're going to just pin us. Logical. If he comes back and pins us, maybe the queen to maintain defense of the bishop and provide a little access in. I like that. Oh, not an option. Not an option. Well, we gotta do something, so he's gonna take the bishop. And then let's put a tempo on the queen, and we have the check from earlier. Check on D3. The issue is just how do I get my bishop in the game, right? Because, oh, there's such strong bishops. So I'm really failing to neutralize the opponent's bishops. It's been the theme of the day. Just extremely powerful bishops. against our position.
Where the beats
I'm guessing we gotta come in. I mean, we're in big trouble. The only thing that's saving us is their rook is in the corner, but that rook is gonna get rolling very, very soon. But hey, we got a knight. Yeah, you gotta trade. I'm pretty sure that's forced.
Major fracture detected.
King's gonna move forward is the issue. I mean, at least moving the knight, yeah, we can get our bishop opened up, so, you know, something's happening for us. King forward, I think that's what you gotta do. There's nothing else. Put your king on a light square.
The street lights blink like sleep.
Let's bring it back. Yeah, we are in trouble. Let's bring it back.
Shadows
Assuming they'll attack, and we'll check the king once more. So the king's gonna attack our knight.
Soft as a sigh.
Yeah, that's bad. That's a bad check if we come here.
While the moon hums low, shy and spry.
Forward, takes.
Oh, the misty.
Maybe the knight has to go to c4. I mean, this is ugly. But we're gonna fight. We ain't rolling over here.
Like a wilting flower.
So takes. The knight has to go somewhere.
Sweet and
I was
sour.
expecting pawn takes to maintain the central pawns.
In the
Powerful.
misty
Well, how about this? This is just bad.
A saxophone
Bad. Let's have both pieces hanging.
secrets untold.
Both pieces hanging. This is no
The
good. Oh my
night
goodness.
was a
Oh my goodness.
scarf
This is
of
terrible.
velvet gold.
Oh, this is terrible. Alright, well. We're in it now. What can you do? Play on.
Lovers refrain. While puddles
Alright, get our
dance
king
to
involved.
the
Operation Stalemate is a go. Rook's coming in.
fingers tap on a window
Just go back. The
pane.
more pawns they take, the better chance we can stalemate them.
Is
I'll
it
say
the
that.
music
Probably just brings the rook
or
right here.
just the rain?
He could take the
Oh,
pawn.
misty
He can take the pawn. I'm pushing. He pushes to a queen and we lose. I mean, what can you do?
Your dreams dissolve.
What can you do against 1152?
Hearts in
This is
fleeting
just beat.
a fleeting shower. In
How do we
the
stalemate here?
misty evening, jazz hour.
Alright, left or right? What gives us a better likelihood of stalemate? If we go to the right,
Lovers waltz
brings the
in
pawn
the
down,
city's
try to attack the
embrace.
pawn. Now, I think if we go to the right, he's gonna like discover
Every
check
shadow
us.
a soft
Go to the right.
smoky
He brings the pawn down. We attack the pawn.
face. A trumpet cries and
He brings
fades
the
to
pawn down. Attack the
gray.
pawn. He checks us. We can front the pawn.
Chasing the night before it slips.
Yeah, that's just trouble. But if we go this way, he brings the pawn down. Only so many squares, deeper in the corner. Brings the pawn down. We come down, he makes a queen, we come back up. You know, he's gonna check us with the queen. That's gonna be real nice. Yeah, he's gonna check us with the queen.
The city sleeps.
I'm thinking the right side has a higher likelihood of stalemate. But the reason I like the left is because my king has so few squares. Let's go to the left. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Alright, we have a few squares. Come down.
Another night.
I guess we'll just stay on the... We'll eat the check.
Lost in
Come around this way. Maybe we escape. Maybe we escape. I don't think we do. Oh, rook check. We escape. He doesn't want to do that. So he's going to make a queen. He's going to make a
Where
queen.
the stars all fade
Oh, well, now we're back where we started, right? So, come this way, he makes a queen.
and the rhythm sweet and low.
Makes a queen. So we gotta keep
Where did
going.
all the
And then
hours go?
he checks us here. That's not quite mate. Hold on, let's try to right. Let's try to right. I don't know, maybe left had the better chance.
Coffee, strong
But hold on, maybe we eke out of here. Maybe we slip out. Let's go for it. Let's try to slip. I think he has the check here, though. It's brutal. Yeah, this cannot be good for us. Check down here, then we come back. All right, come on. Yeah, that's done now. Gotta give the opponent credit. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. All right, all right.
He needs some milk.
We need some milk. All right, we're gonna run one more. We're gonna run one more. What? I don't know what happened there. Pieces developed. We got, yeah, I mean, we were fine. We were fine out of the opening. Everything's where it wanted to go. We just couldn't figure out a plan. He went for the 2 pieces for the rook, and that's good for us. But the knight was bad. Yeah, we got the knight trapped. It was this. I didn't see the rook move here at the end. For whatever reason, I thought that pawn was no big deal. And I felt like my king's on g8 or something. Yeah, we shouldn't be giving up pawns next to the king. That's no good. And then we just trade the rook, and we traded everything. Is the issue. The opponent just put on a clinic. Never had a chance after we blundered. Alright, so let's see what we could have done differently. Instead of moving the knight, would the bishop have worked? No, it was just, why are you sacrificing here? Just take the pawn. Yeah, okay, I see. Take the pawn, he's going to plant his knight. And then what do we follow up with our knight? Yeah, I guess, but okay, opponent maybe wants to castle. I don't think they would castle that. I mean, that castle looks pretty scary to black. I mean, maybe he brings, no, he can't bring the queen out. So, what are you going to try to kick my knight? And where would the knight go? Forward. Then you're going to hit my knight again. I mean, I would try to trade all this. Oh, but then I can just recapture with check. So I would have had to see that there's a check at the end of all this. Alright. Failed to see this. Let's go again. Let's go again. I'm not done. Last one. Last one. Let's make it count here. Alright. 1d4. 1b3. 1d4. Let's go 1d4 with the intention to sacrifice the c-pawn. Let's do it. And he's going to take it. We have a lot of options, right? Okay, they didn't take it. Let's just develop our knight. They may take now. Alright. Let's go for the fianchetto. We're going for the Catalan action. I don't like when they move the pawn forward to c5, so hopefully we don't see this. Because I tend to forget, you have to take the pawns after that. Oh, should we just fianchetto? We move, they take, we move our knight out. They defend, we undermine the structure. I don't know, that's probably fine. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to take... No, come on now. Alright. We're castling next. I just moved the e-pawn because they moved their bishop out, so we just made our center stronger. Let's castle. Come on, take it. We'll move our knight out. Alright. Let's move our knight out and see what they're going to do. Assuming they come down, we're going to undermine this. Alright, we discussed. And now what do you do? Because see, if we take and you capture back, okay, you're up a pawn, but we've got the 2 central pawns in the actual center. Your central pawn's a little far back, that's why that's... Oh, okay. Hold on now. I know there's a move. Alright, now they got me into theory. Should we come forward with the knight? We gotta think how to best approach this. If we move our pawn forward, what's the idea? Well, the idea is we want them to take and get our knight out to put a tempo on the queen. If they come forward, we would just attack their queen. could move our knight, and we would lose it immediately. Alright, so I'm thinking b3 is a move. Knight to e5 with the intention of putting a double threat on this pawn. And then we would undermine the pawn chain that way, and again we would have our beautiful central pawns. We want these two pawns in the center, and we don't want him to have two pawns. But see, if I take, we lose the rook. So that's what I'm trying to work out. Let's come forward. I'm not sure of the move. I think this is a move though. I feel like this feels fine. I think we're going to get a little dicey if we move forward with the knight. I just think it's going to get a little dicey. Because maybe he's going to plant his knight in. Yeah, but we take it. We capture. I'm not sure. He'd probably move the rook first. With the, like, if we move our knight, and then he took it. No, that wouldn't help him. I'm just confused here.
Oh dear!
Figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, this feels fine. This feels just fine for white. I'm sure we're yet to make a blunder, but very careful. Could be very easy to make a mistake in this position. Rook is knight. Does he want to threaten to come into our position? Are we worried about that? If we move our knight forward, we would be defending the square and preparing our bishop to come out. So we come forward, he comes forward, we take his knight, he brings in his queen attacking our rook, so we attack his knight. He's going to take our pawn though, but then we would take his pawn. He'd recapture a queen, have double pawns, and he'd be up 2 pawns, but we'd have a pretty clear zone of attack here. We'd be pretty clear to attack. That's one way forward. Maybe we bring the knight in. Same idea. No, I just like moving the knight so we can actually get our bishop out. So let's just move the knight. He's going to come in. We won't want to fall too far on time. We're already 2 minutes behind, and I'm having calculation issues here. If I come forward, right? Knight comes in, I come forward, he takes my queen, I take his queen. Is there a willing check? Actually, I kind of like that. I think his knight's trapped, right? Because of our knight maneuver earlier. So I don't think he can come forward. Because if I attack with the bishop, and you take my queen, well, maybe that's the move. Alright, well, let's go for it this way. He's worried about a pawn. I'm trying to actually attack his pieces with my pieces. And my queen can recapture this pawn and develop at the same time. So I don't think that's bad for us. I guess he could come forward. We take his queen. He takes our rook. That's not good. That can't be good for our opponent. What? Alright, let's just take the pawn to develop our queen, connect our rooks, and eye the king. I think this should be good for us. It would be nice to move our knight in. Yeah, let's move the knight in. Why not? He's hitting our rook. So maybe before we move the knight in, we protect our rook. Just attack the pawn. His knight's defended, but if that ever leaves, we have a removing the guard tactic. But I'm thinking we want to get our knight into the game, hitting his bishop, do it, and starting to open up our bishop, right? The other knight, ooh, maybe right here. Oh, look at this e6 square. The two knights would defend each other and hit the rook and hit the bishop. A lot of pressure on the dark squares. I really like that. So yeah, I'm actually thinking of knight to g5 as a move. Knight to g5 opens our bishop, threatens the knight, and then if for any reason you take our knight, we just recapture and replant the knight on the square. I really like this maneuver. We're going to have to figure out what to do with our bishop. It's not doing anything as of yet. I could just move this knight in and attack both pieces, but I don't see how that helps us. I'd rather move this knight in and get the double threat, so it's like you don't know which knight is coming in. I can move the knight in and then I could protect it with a pawn. It pushes pawn up, that could weaken the king, and then we would move forward. Guess we would have weakened our king, but we're going to come to the h2 square if we end up moving this h-pawn. It's got a strong bishop, but it's not doing anything. Alright now. Forward. Well, he's just giving us this pawn? Why? I guess he just wants to open up the file, but I think this is a central pawn. I think we actually really need this pawn. If we come forward, we won't have it anymore. I'm going to go for it. I mean, I guess I could take his bishop. I'm going to go for it. I'm not sure. I just think we're getting a tempo here. We're going to plant a knight in the middle anyways. We've opened up our bishop at long last. But we have to get our rooks involved. And I'm thinking rook c5. Rook c5, hitting the queen. And then maybe we snap off the b pawn. Well, hold on now. Where's he trying to go? He's trying to reroute to our light squares, which would mean he's going to put pressure on dark squares. Oh, he's going to come in the middle. Very nice. Very nice. Maybe first we should just take and just accept that we're going to have to move our bishop back. Like we come in with the knight. He captures. We recapture with the bishop. He plants a knight in the center. Yeah, maybe that's good for us. Maybe first get the queen out. But, I mean, this queen's in the corner not doing anything. Don't we want it in the corner not doing anything? Or we get our bishop involved. Hold on now. I like this. I like the bishop move because it does hit the queen. Maybe he comes back and pins us. Maybe he comes back and pins us. So what if I come forward with the rook and he comes back to defend his pawn? What would we do? There's no cheeky move to where there's a check here if the queen is defended by the pawn. For example, if he were to go back and I take the pawn and he just did a developing move and then I checked the king and he retook the bishop, I couldn't get the queen, which is a lot of time a tactical idea. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be rook c4 or bishop b4. The advantage of rook c4 is we can double our rooks. Hold on now. Hold on now. The advantage, or the advantage this way is we get a powerful bishop, but we have to be watching it with the queen. I bring my rook up, you just come back. Let's do the bishop. I'm not sure. I just think our bishop's not doing much on d2. But here on b4, it's starting to do stuff. And okay, you're going to threaten the bishop, but I'm going to move my rook to the b file. So that's how I resolve to deal with this. All right, I'm going to move my rook here. So now we're lining up on the queen. We have 1, 2, 3 attackers on this piece, and he has 2 defenders. There could be a tactic there. No longer do we have that. And look at this nasty check. King has to come forward. Hold on now. We win a rook this way, I think. Because king comes forward and we pick up the rook. And then we're going to trade the knight. This rook's undefended. He didn't connect the rooks. His knight's still in the starting square. That's why it's so important to connect your rooks. But let's make sure there's not anything better. We could take the knight. And then how would he save the rook is the question. I suppose move the queen back, but we would have picked up a knight. So we could take the rook. I'm going to take the rook because I see this bishop check here, which feels extremely powerful. This feels like an extremely strong check. Actually, this check wins the game. Yep, this check wins the game because the queen. He has to do something.
Emergency. User dead imminent.
He has to do something about that.
The walls hold secrets they won't betray.
Bruh.
A swing set sways.
Have to do something about this. And this check is so brutal. Yeah. All right. We get the queen here, and I think this is just extremely powerful. And the knight could have taken as well. So we're gonna take the queen. You recapture. We're gonna take with the knight. Okay. So big question here: do we take the rook, and then he takes our rook, hitting the queen, and then we take the pawn, getting the queen out the center? Or do we just... No, let's not lose the queen. Let's not lose the queen. Let's just take the knight. Take the knight. Lose the bishop. Yeah, but you take my bishop. What do I want? Is the rook better? The rook's probably better, right? Rook for a rook. And then the queen and the rook are on the same file. Yeah, that's probably better. Take my knight too. Yeah, I think this is better. Because now I could attack you just the same this way on a7 with the idea to reroute to h7. So we got options, right? I think this is forced. I think knight take is forced. And then we're probably going to come a7 because we're going to be simultaneously attacking the rook and the bishop. And then we'll still have 3 pieces for checkmate at the end of this, so we'll try to figure out how to have a clinical checkmate. And there's a check with the knight. Well, there's 2 checks, but we don't want to block our bishop now. Check with the knight. He may come to the blue square. Come forward, he takes the knight. Ooh, but then queen a7, and that's checkmate. The king would have to move down, right? So this is just absolutely forced. This is forced because I'm going to check you, and if you come down, I check you, you take my knight. Check with the queen, you take my bishop. Checkmate with the rook on c7. We're going to have the rook and the queen on these 2 squares cutting across the position. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Let's see what opponent has in store for us.
Emergency. User dead imminent.
He needs some milk!
Alright. Oh, sorry, I forgot to remove that. I forget to remove the evaluation bar. Put a little hotkey here so I can bring it back and forth. But when there's no analysis bar, it just does what's to the left of the board. Oh, yeah, we got magic. I'll get better at this. But yeah, this is a really tough position, and please don't let me disconnect. We have a good connection, thank goodness. This would be atrocious to disconnect. So I've been in this position where my clock ran down like 4 or 5 minutes, and I thought it was the opponent that disconnected. It was me. That does happen from time to time. Let's just refresh because we don't want to mess around here. All right. Still the opponent's turn. We're getting the health back here. We're coming up on a lot of health. Oh, I just realized. Hold on, is there like a checkmate? I never even considered until just this moment the pawn forward. Oh my goodness, pawn forward. But we need a piece. We need a piece. So if you take with the knight, the rook, I would actually take with my queen. And this could be brilliant, right? If you take with the knight, I attack you with the rook. So you say, okay, free queen, right? But the rook is pressuring, the bishop is pressuring, the pawn is pressuring, the knight is pressuring. So this would be a pawn checkmate with the sacrifice of a queen. Wow. The opponent denies us.
Access denied.
Right, we're moving on time here. All right, we figured it out. So let's see here. And I'll bring the analysis board. The analysis. See if this was a valid strategy, right? So you take my rook. I come down. You take my queen. Pawn checkmate. That's what I was like. Pawn check. Wow. I mean, how do you get out of this? Can't go anywhere. You come to this square, and it's mate in 1. So I would have had to see the extra mate in 1. Maybe I miss it. I'm pretty sure it's the bishop here. Potential. It's potential. I mean, I didn't see it. But once you move the pieces, sometimes your vision clears up. Yeah, so that would have been an interesting sequence. Alright, but let's see if at any point we were losing. Make sure we played an okay opening. Yeah, opening was okay. Not mad at it. And in a draw, that's pretty ideal. I was scared here. I didn't know what to do to play, what move to play. So the computer's not convinced with this move, right? It's still only minus 0.5. I mean, at this level, that's nothing, but these little advantages can add up, so you got to be careful. And they should not have moved their knight in, just the same as I should have. Was I supposed to attack the knight? Yes, I was, and that makes sense. I was thinking of that, but no, I said let's get the knight in, right? Because it's such a nice looking square here. I'm just curious what the best move, as opposed to moving the pawn, was. Pushing a central pawn slightly worse, but still acceptable. I did think about moving my pawn here, but I thought it just en passants me. Maybe he wouldn't en passant me. Maybe he'd take with the queen. I guess he would have taken with the queen. And I couldn't move the bishop because he would have taken my pawn. But the computer likes this. The computer likes this? I mean, I do have a very strong bishop. Oh, they want me to take the central pawn. No, they don't want me to take the central pawn. What do you want? I don't understand, because they don't want the rooks to the open file, and they don't want me to take the central pawn. So what do they want? To move the knight in? Putting double threat? No. I feel like knight here would have been fine, because it opens the bishop, and it's threatening to take the pawns, and if you come down, we just move our knight. Not sure. But surprisingly, yeah, this is not the best move. We're giving away the advantage if we take with the knight. And open file is not good. Super principled moves. Hard to say. I just don't see the idea. Yeah, so if we took the pawn, we lost all the advantage, but that's what I would have done. Anyways, we went for the pawn forward. There we ended up in a draw. But then he blundered. And we were able to find it, to take the pawn, get the bishop. And there's mate and 8. Anybody, pause the video if you see the mate and 8 right here. Impressive if you did. Alright, there's a mate in 4. Probably should have found this mate in 4, but I just went for the free rook. So what's the idea? Is it the same with the pawn? No. Mate in 4.
coffee cup.
Because we just don't have enough pieces in the attack. Yeah, we have the knight and the queen, but that's not enough.
Midnight glow.
So, okay, takes queen. Have to come forward.
Oh, bop, bop, I can't stop. I'm dancing to the night.
This is just unstoppable.
Tick, tock, let the
I mean, it's mate in 4 instead of mate in 2, but there's mate in 2 here.
inside the night. Oh, bop.
How's this mate in 2? Maybe bring the queen around? Yeah, that is kind of nasty. No, that oh, whoa, because I put it in the wrong place. So no, that would have lost us our advantage just the same. Just mate in 2, what are you talking about? Check the king. Oh, and then the pawn mate. Wow, because the queen covers both the escape squares. Wow. Wow, wee wah. Alright, very close to a pawn mate there. Gotta look out for those next time. Well, I appreciate everybody for making it out. Hope you guys have a lovely evening. I'm getting out of here.